others, cause distress, fear, risk to their well-being, and it can be physical, verbal, relational, or cyberbullying.
Shoot, yeah.
And it's always wrong. You said it, my friend. It is always wrong when you bully somebody. And that's what's going on. Now, let me tell
What's
you
going on
what
here,
the
everybody?
critics are going to say when they hear me talking about this. They're going to say, well, now,
What are
wait a
their
minute.
politics
Come on.
doing, everybody?
Isn't Trump
Aren't they
a bully?
bullying?
And
What's
let me
he
tell you
speaking
why
for?
the answer to that question
Let
is
me know in
no.
comments.
Because
can
to
hold
be
this a
a
bit better
bully,
for
there
you.
has to be an imbalance of power.
Exactly.
And when there's not, it's just called
What do you
a
reckon of the
debate.
playlist? I'll
And
show you
he's
in a minute.
just better at it than anybody else.
Shit. Yeah!
It's called debating. It's called arguing. It's just, it may even name calling, but it's not bullying unless there's an imbalance of power. And whoever he talks to, they've got a microphone, they got on their big boy pants, they got a stage, they got everything else. He's just better at it. And the same thing is true. When the
Everyone's
Democrats
saying,
or
Jay,
Harris call
good
him
timing.
fascist, Hitler,
Sure.
racist, misogynist, or a crook, is that bullying? Well, not really.
They can be on a
It's
list
ugly.
to bully me
But
if
with
they
the
want.
First Amendment, which we all want to keep, there's no imbalance of power, so it's not bullying. It's just like what he does. It may not be the best use of energy, but when you attack civilians, when you attack a citizen, and you use the power of the internet, you use mob mentality, you incite people to gang up and cause boycotts, then it's beyond ugly.
Yeah, and what the
that's
government's
what's
showing us
happening
that?
in this country right now, and
Yeah.
that's not okay.
That's right. But not just that one. Others represent it even worse, and has been
There is an
longer.
imbalance of power there,
so
and
it's
it's
spreading.
time that every one of us close ranks. We have to stop this now. It's time that we push back against cancel culture. It's time that we push back against intimidation tactics. And that is exactly the reason that I launched Merit Street Media, which, by the way, we didn't
How's your
choose
sense
the
of
name for
humour?
that by random.
I hope it's
Merit
good.
Street Media. This
Apparently
country
when
was
you're
built
healed,
on
it's
hard
meant
work,
to be at least
added value,
tolerable.
and talent, not on equal
That's what the
outcome.
Balkans would say.
Not on
Tolerable.
DEI. This country was built on hard work, and it needs to continue to be built on hard work. And the legacy media has sold out. The legacy media has sold out. And I'll tell you, one night I was sitting at dinner with my wife, Robin, and I was complaining as we were flipping around and listening to the spin on what's supposedly news. And I said, damn, I'm tired of listening to all this media spin and everything. And without even looking up, she said, well, you are the media. Why don't you do something about it? She said, you got bigger ratings than the four of them combined. Why don't you do something about it?
It's all
Well,
about
as
ratings,
usual,
people.
she was right. And that's why I launched the new network, because we want people to think for themselves. You guys aren't dumb. You don't need to be told what to think. You just need the facts. And you're here because
The
you have the
algorithms
facts,
are
right?
telling us what to think. So, if that's
You're
true,
here
you better
because
attack
you
the
recognize
algorithms.
when legacy media
Because we're
edits
not robots.
answers and gives you what they want you to hear instead of the truth.
Exactly.
And when they start editing their candidates' answers, they've lost their moral compass. They've lost their way. And I would love to say it's equal on both sides, but I'll guarantee you, when Beyonce, George Clooney, De Niro, and Lizzo come out and say they're for Kamala Harris, when they all come out and say they're for Kamala Harris, did you read anything or hear anything in the media criticizing it?
Let me know in comments.
No.
What do you think
But
about
you
my
watch what
playlist?
happens tomorrow
If you
morning
wanna give
when
me a
people
comment
find
that
out
I'll be
I came here
interested
to
in.
talk to you.
Hopefully you won't bully me, but got you something to say if you want to have to say something. Are they crazy? Are they weird? Do they make sense to you?
You say this in Hollywood, and all of a sudden
watch
you
it?
ain't got a job. Problem is,
Let
I
me
don't
know.
need one.
I think they're pretty funny and cool. But let me know if it's just me.
I don't need a job because I got you. And I've got a question for all of us.
That's
Have
what
we
algorithms
lost
say
our
about you.
minds? We have the First Amendment in America where
Everyone
our
that got
government
it
has
don't need a
said
job
we
'cause
will
they've got
pass
you.
no laws
That's what they're talking
to
about with the
infringe
stocks
on our
too.
freedoms for religion and speech.
Shocking, isn't it?
So
In that
that's the
last
law, but
part
we're
with the
muzzling each other. What is
lawyers and
going
the judges
on?
talking about certain
We
things.
have a law that protects free speech, so we start taking it away from each other? Are you kidding me? We can't allow that to happen. We cannot encourage it. And let me tell you something about bullying. Bullies are bad, right?
Get me out of this septic
Let me
tank.
tell you what else is bad.
I can do a script,
Bystanders.
but we don't need to.
If you are a
If they're stealing
bystander, if
scripts,
you
I
are
just naturally
watching
do.
somebody get picked
You know what
on,
I mean,
if you're
people?
watching somebody get bullied and you don't do anything about it, you're just as guilty as the bully that's doing the bullying.
Exactly.
Am I right?
Hey, what tip did I say that way back? And when did you think I learned that? When
I
did
have
you learn
talked to
that?
so many children
And
in
when did you
schools
practice it when you learnt it?
that tell me the worst feeling
How
they've
much
ever
did you
had
practice?
is being bullied and feeling alone and abandoned when they are picked on and intimidated, when they wish even one person, even one other kid
I'm going through
would
this. It
step
does that
up and
sometimes.
say, hey,
Crappy
come
phones.
sit with me at lunch. Don't sit
Which
in a stall
it does
in the
things like that.
bathroom and cry
Used to
your
do
way
it really
through
bad.
lunch and eat alone.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you be
For that
alone.
story. I
And
couldn't
it's
even
the
be
same
worried
thing
to
with
change
adults.
it. Like, oh, they would want me
Adults
to
don't
change it
want
and
to
have
be
a
cut
laugh.
out of the herd
I'd
and
rather
feel
just
like
leave
they're
it there.
alone. The number
It's a
one
story.
need in all
Why it's
people
like
is
that.
acceptance. The number
Well,
one
you go,
fear
why
is
is like that?
rejections, and
Well, keep
bullies,
looking, you might find
they
some more.
prey on that.
Yeah, that's like
We must
advertising,
claim
isn't
the
it?
right to our point of
And
view.
it
We
saves me
must be
doing
critical
shit.
thinkers, and when you see somebody being picked on, then you've got to be willing to step up and say, hey, I'm with you. Don't let that happen. And you've got to know why you're strong on the issues you're strong on. You got to know why you're strong on affordability and
Yep,
safety
research.
and security and the border.
I've already done all
and
this,
family
but
care for
I like to
men and
refresh
women
my
and law
mind
and order and,
and
your
also
core
help people
values
and show people
for your children's
how I see
education
things
in our
and
military.
what we should be using, which
Know
is what
why
I've been
you're
talking
where
about.
you are, and when you come
what
to
I
your
say.
friends and
What do you think
coworkers
about my
being bullied, don't be
playlist?
a bystander.
What do you think of the old ones
Don't
to the
be a
new ones?
bystander.
Did you see how I went?
You can't let it happen.
Anyway,
When you say you love America,
I've got
that's a verb. That
about 3
also
years up
means
to
you love
showing you how it
Americans.
went.
You've got to push back and call out the bullies. You've got to stand with those that have targets in their lives. Targets if they're picking on them by calling their jobs to get them fired.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Boycotts or kicking them out of their jobs at church or their groups at church.
Yep, that's a bad one.
I've spent 45 years listening to people. And I
I've
was just
spent
in North
more than 45
Carolina,
hours
and
listening to
after the,
good old
after the
Dr. Phil.
hurricane hit down there. And
Even
you know
though when,
what?
you know, we have these comedy
I
shows
saw
and stuff like
neighbors
that.
helping neighbors,
But
and not one
I
of
used to
them
watch Dr.
asked,
Phil all
"Are
the
you a
time,
Democrat
midday
or a
and 2
Republican?"
o'clock. You know him back in the day, you know, the Dr. Phil moments? And watch it, I mean, you've been around.
I saw neighbors helping neighbors,
But
and we
after
need
a while,
to
you know,
unify
it's all
this country.
similar, and so I stopped watching it
You
when I
have
needed
the
to.
right to vote for who you want to vote for president, and we need to step up and
Whoa.
claim it, and we need to stand with each other. There are so many who want to,
All right.
but they're bullied,
Yeah.
so they're afraid to. And let me tell you something. One of the most important days in American history was 9/12,
I just thought I'd do a little
2001.
refresh while I'm here.
Not 9/11. We all know what happened on 9/11. One of the most important days was
Stand up for our
9/12.
rights.
Because on 9/12,
And our beliefs.
we all woke up and we were all Americans on
What do you reckon of this
9/12.
playlist? It's got to be the seriousness with a sense of humour.
If you were an American on
How do you
9/12,
cook?
stand up right now. If you were an American on 9/12, stand up right now. That's who we were. That's who we are. And the difference between winners and losers is winners do things losers don't want to do. And we have to stand proud to help our neighbors who want to vote their conscience and not be afraid.
Who? What? They?
No one should be alone. No one should feel abandoned. No one should have their business boycotted. If you hear
Exactly.
somebody's getting their business boycotted, you should get your friends and make sure their business gets doubled.
No. People set people
If
up for
somebody pulls
using
their
that tactic.
advertising from your
I'll
friend's
tell you one
business,
day, Dr.
you
Phil.
should let those advertisers know you're going to spend the rest of your life making sure that advertiser is boycotted until they do the right thing. You need to let people know this is over
And we're going to
in
make
America.
sure
We're going
that
to
whoever does
unify
that,
this country.
they've got the right thing.
We're
Hey?
going to listen and not
And
be
what is the right
intimidated.
thing?
We're going to go out and lead by example. Let's
Exactly.
quit complaining about what is and start doing something about it. If your neighbor wants to vote the other way, say fine, go vote the other way. I'll love
Exactly.
you anyway.
But what happens when they
Let's
keep...
lead by example. If
being
they want
bullies
to do
and
it,
not
let them
admitting?
do it. Love them anyway.
There's
But
certain
as
areas
for
there's
you, the collective
a turning
you,
point of where an action
I
needs
don't
to
want
be.
you to just
And it's
listen
sad.
and say nice
But we
talk,
can't communicate
Dr.
with just
Phil.
words if we're
I want you
brought
to
up to
march
do
in
that.
your life. I want you to march with your beliefs. I want you to not be intimidated. Don't be stopped, and don't just vote. Take 5 people with you. Like I said, the difference between winners and losers is winners do things losers don't want to do. And what they do is they take actions toward known outcomes. They deal with the truth. They set goals
known
and
outcomes.
they go after them
That
with
means they
passion.
play the path.
And it's time for
So if
us
you're
to
stuck there,
bring
play the
it
path.
home.
Use the law.
It's
Instead
time
of
for us
changing
to
it.
bring it home. It's
We don't
time
want
for
that
us
one,
to
do we,
be
people?
winners. Winners,
Right.
winners, winners.
Did I get that wrong? What did you said then? Did I get that right? And right about what he said?
I
You'll have to
started
let me
by
know.
telling you I love this country. I'll finish by telling you I love this country, and I love you for loving this country. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. And before I leave, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next Vice President of the United States, Senator J.D. Vance.
Anyway, why do I do this? Because they can send us clones. I can be on a fake internet. North Korea do it to their people. China does it. You can lock them out. You can send your people to see certain things. So if your government wanted to do it to you, but say they don't, what stops them to know that they have? Or how would you know? Perhaps you might get things like when you try to report upper areas on certain higher situations, you might get them saying, we cannot see your clips when you try to report them. And you go, hey, it should be on the internet. I can look at it right now and do videos like that. If that's not true, if it's true they can't see me, then the blocking must be true. You see? And that's why we do these videos and then get people more interested in it while we're doing such videos. You see? And then we go talk to them to make sure. Otherwise, you just go around and round. And when you go make sure, do your research a bit more and try again, as they say. Alright? To get the outcome. Because what they try to do is they'll intimidate and bully you to stop you from doing an action. And I can tell you, my actions are coming. But anyway, let's keep on tracking. And I'm going to make sure I'm really ready on the areas where I know they will deceive. You get it? So you get ready for it and you video that. And then you go to the next step that you need to do after that. Which perhaps take it to the news that you get all these interesting things. See what they got to say. And perhaps video that too. You see? Until you find the part where the corruption is gone and something different happens. You see? And as they say, how long is being good and how long is just being stupid? Right? Now, these people's outcomes in a lot of areas just want their outcomes that they can spread and then propaganda. Right? Intimidate and bully. Give them what they hear now so we can deceive later. It's very sad that we have these corruptions in areas that we thought were free, but only for the listed. Isn't that? Only for the listed. Now, how long have I had this channel for? I'm quite curious, actually. I'm scrolling all the way through this for a while. As I have truly nothing to hide, right? Things are meant to be private on here, and if they're not, then it's not too much of a loss only for them when it's certain outcomes, as well as ourselves a little bit when you lose someone that can help or something can help and all that, it only becomes a loss, doesn't it? And that's why war is usually no good, because the outcomes just become more losses. Oh, hear that? Someone's having a rev up out there. How many rev ups have I got, eh? You know what time it is? It's 2:14 in the morning. Oh, hang on. It's 2:15, sorry. I want a little out the microwave. So really, when you hear a lot of noise, when you've always watching these clips in America or something, you're like, oh man, that sounds like a town you wouldn't want to do any noise complaints. That just sounds hypocritical there, doesn't it? It's very odd. Very strange. And it can happen like that. Oh, sounds like a battle. Wouldn't you think? If you heard it a lot in clips at certain times, you can make out that it is like that, isn't it? Assumptions we can make. Looks like we've come to the end now. So nearly 2 months, roughly, because it doesn't change until we hit the second month. What do I do in 2 months? Anyway, have a good one. And that's just on the internet. Besides other things that we do, that they all believe that we should all do a lot of things at once and all that, and some people are capable. But it depends on what we've got, what we've been through, all those things. And time and good moments, bad moments. Anyway, have a good one, everybody. See you later.